These are my impressions of the Phoenix Ikki Mythcloth EX. This is actually my first Mythcloth, so I can't really compare it to others, but it's pretty great. It's awesome. I like it a lot. They cost a pretty hefty chunk of change for someone of my budget, but definitely worth it. When I placed my order, I'm mostly concerned with getting Ikki, and I saw images of the statue, but I wasn't expecting how much I would like this. It was definitely a pleasant surprise, and you're basically getting two figures, and that's great. Definitely worth the price, the money that you lay down for it. Things about Ikki, for a split second, I was almost disappointed because I didn't get a char mask that Ikki is introduced wearing when he is an enemy at the beginning of the series, and that's because, as any Saint Seiya fan would know and probably smack me upside the face if I said that out loud, that's because Ikki is wearing an earlier version of his cloth at that moment when he is introduced. The Saints upgrade their armor as they go through the series, and I think this is, I don't know if this is a second or third iteration, but it's somewhere in between because it's not quite the final form yet. That has some gold on the chest, and I think the pinions on his back would be gold too. I'm not sure. Speaking of pinions, on the that's a good segue to the statue. For me at least, kind of had a scary moment. These, you can see these are made of a soft plastic because they need to, even if they're on Ikki's back, they will be dragging on the ground and they need to bend. So kind of had a scary moment putting the the round pegs into the slots on the back because they bend. I'm sure maybe other people have experienced that. I'm kind of scared of things like that because accidents have happened in the past that have scarred me for life, and I'm scared of a lot of things, but I'm working through it. Thank you. And I have the broken cloth on the statue, as you can see. Still looks great, even though it's injured. All the cloth pieces fit into the statue to form it. I mean, you can probably obviously see the belt and the shoulder pads and the helmet, which the instructions called a mask, which I thought was interesting, masku, but in katakana. But all of the cloth pieces go and fit onto the statue, and pretty true to Kuramada Sensei's diagrams that he draws in the manga, I think. I'll let the experts determine if it's, a one-to-one thing, but I thought that was pretty cool. It probably took me an hour to put these guys together, put all the cloth on them. Most of that time going to the statue, which it was a lot of fun putting together, so don't regret that time investment. I can't imagine how cool it'd be, like, growing up in the 80s reading Saint Seiya and getting these myth cloths, because they're pretty. I mean, this is a treat for fans, I think. And there's a lot bigger fans than I am out there. Size comparison, actually, now I think about it, I've got guest star Griffith from Berserk, Figma, and you can see he's a pretty big Figma. He's the tallest Figma that I have, because the other Figmas I have are little girls. So he's barely up to Ikki's shoulders, so that just kind of shows you the size of Ikki. I was impressed with. I guess I've never really had a figure of this quality, and he's really sturdy, really heavy, a lot heavier than other articulated figs I've had before, because his plastic is probably, it's a sturdier plastic, and it's really cool. He's actually freestanding right now. If you remember, the Griffith has stand on him. But and I got the closed eyes Kuramada face. I'll try to put him in a more dynamic pose. Maybe I'll have him using his Ho Genma-ken on Griffith, because we all know Griffith deserves it. That move is, I think, usually translated as bad weed punch. And I've got, I like the closed eyes on Ikki. They're very, serene and calm, yet still stoic and badass, I think, at the same time. And these are, they're great. Great figures. I like them a lot.